Hey everybody, I'm Joe and you've reached the Anarchotruth channel. Here at the Anarchotruth channel, I talk about liberty and tyranny. I am pro-freedom and non-violent. Today, we'll be talking about mandatory blood draws at DUI checkpoints in Florida. And we have this article posted by Kurt Nimmo at Infowars.com with the headline reading, Mandatory DUI Checkpoint Blood Tests Coming to Florida. And to start the article off, it says, authorities call it no refusal in Florida at the unconstitutional DUI checkpoints set up for revenue enhancement and to get citizens into the legal and prison system. The government will soon force drivers to take blood tests. Now that sounds pretty hardcore, doesn't it? It's definitely just one more step down the path to tyranny if it's as true as it seems to be. You know, will the people stand for it? Because this doesn't have to be the case, these mandatory blood draws. If the people don't stand for it and actually get offended by something for once in their lives, just be offended. If someone wants to rob the blood from your body over this drunk driving hype, you know, I know bad things happen, but the problems of the system are intrinsically deeper than just someone drinking and driving. It's all just hype. This anti-drunk driving from the establishment, that's hype. There's true anti-drunk driving sentiment, definitely, for the victims and their families, but these people who are pushing it, this Mothers Against Drunk Drivers, and all these people, they're just hype. They're fake. But anyway, hopefully someone will get offended. But of course, the local news is only going to show the sheeple who support it and say, hey, if it protects me from drunk drivers, then I'm all for it. Because that's what they'll say. They'll say these mandatory blood tests will be the solution. Bye-bye drunk driving accidents. And of course, future studies will show that it didn't make much of a difference, but everyone will be used to it by then, and it'll just be just a part of our everyday lives. You know, I've already been seeing predictive programming for blood draws at mandatory checkpoints. I watched a TV show on Showtime called Dexter, and if you don't watch that show, I recommend it. You should check it out. It's a very entertaining show. But in season 4 of Dexter, there's a moment where he's with the Trinity killer, and they're driving back to Miami from a trip, and they hear over the radio that there's a mandatory checkpoint being implemented in Miami to draw blood, looking for the serial killer, you know, which was the Trinity killer. But basically, there's a straight up scene where they're setting up mandatory checkpoints to draw blood from people to test their DNA. You should watch it. I can't remember which episode it is, but it's in season 4. Highly recommend it. Now anyway, back to the article. It says, it means if you refuse a breath test during a traffic stop, a judge is on site and issues a warrant that allows police to perform a mandatory blood test. And this is ridiculous, isn't it? They have a judge on site. I mean, come on. It's this belief in the authority or the legitimacy of the judge that leads to this ridiculous nonsense being implemented. Most people you can find will simply deny the fact that they are being trained like puppy dogs to do what they're told. It's a harsh realization to come to. It's easier to be a slave to the common good, even if the quote-unquote common good is nothing more than a fake idea brought to us by the social engineers. And this also just shows how the system picks on the little guy. Cops brutalize the people every day. Politicians start wars. Soldiers kill innocent people. And all these people get to go on with their lives as if nothing happened. But me and you know, if we're just driving down the road, not even drinking, you know, we're treated as guilty until proven innocent at the expense of our privacy I mean, literally taking your own blood from you. It's insanity. That is scientific dictatorship level stuff. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Here's a quote from Kurt Nimmo in the article. He says, "In addition to swelling prisons, DUI laws are designed to fleece victims." And what I think about that is that this is what the state is all about: imprisoning and robbing innocent people. You know, as long as people cling to this false belief that taxes and the government are necessary for the survival of civilization, this is the trend we're going to see and have seen throughout history. You have a controlling rich elite who have infiltrated government, as was probably the plan from the start, since no doubt the state is designed to be infiltrated by the rich elite control freaks. They're going to give us as much tyranny as we're willing to take. Okay? We've been set up from the day we were born. That's how the system was designed. So of course, I guess it was going to come to this eventually, and it'll keep going as long as people don't stand up for themselves. Some other thoughts on the situation is that this could also be a ploy to attempt to diminish travel on the roads. It's kind of like the TSA. Keeping people from wanting to travel by air. The idea of coming to a mandatory dehumanization checkpoint will keep people from traveling. It's like, why risk it? No one's going to want to risk it. But they'll still believe in it, too. They'll say, oh, well, I support it, haha. Here's another quote from Kurt Nimmo. He says, most states do not use violence to compel drivers to submit their blood. However, they just take away your license, even if you are found not guilty of drunk driving. Other states add prison time to DUI convictions for the crime of refusing to allow the state to violate the Fourth Amendment. And now this, to me, just shows how deep in the game we already are. That they already do all this stuff is tyrannical enough. It's just how far can they take it? How far can it go? And it's just like pathetic. They're using these checkpoints to fine and ticket people for more traffic violations. They'll steal your car from you if you don't have their permission slip. They call it a driver's license, but it's really getting a permission slip from your daddy. And if you don't do it, then daddy's going to come and steal your car and sell it to somebody else. They're even bragging about how much money they make. It's funny. So, you better lick boots if you want to drive on their streets. And that's really the bottom line about this whole deal. It's just all about control. In the end, control is at the bottom of it all. That's what I think anyway. So that's about all I have to say about that. Check the links below, and hope you learned something. And thanks for watching. Take it easy.